Alright people, Max Saladin here again, welcome back to another video. Today I'm just going through my Platinum Trophy journey for Horizon Forbidden West. Uh, this first trophy, just for getting into the sort of the opening area, the prologue area. Stealth killing 10 machines, no, a pretty simple one. Uh, must say, I'm not a huge fan of the Horizon franchise. There's something about it that just doesn't hook me in that much. I do think they're very beautiful games, and I really got them. I really picked them up to like experience the sort of cinematic graphics and just a beautiful art direction. It's just a really great thing to look at on a new 4K TV and the PS5 console. So I picked them up for that reason, to enjoy the visuals and just to really see what sort of technology these consoles are working with, because that kind of stuff's always pretty impressive. But I've never been huge into the plot line or the overall combat of this series. But I do think they're an entertaining time, and the Platinums are usually pretty breezy, not overly hard. And they're quite fun to achieve. They don't make you collect every last thing in the game, or do every last task in the game, but they do get you to experience quite a lot of everything, which I always appreciate that. Climbing the tall necks, that's really one of my favourite activities. Always like getting up on top of one of them and just riding around for a little while, seeing the environment. And oh yeah, this was the Machine Strike minigame. Bit like a weird version of chess. I didn't play too much of it because it seemed quite complex. But that was an interesting minigame, and I think there's going to be quite a few people who spent a lot of time playing the Machine Strike. And it feels like a rabbit hole you could fall down if you got really into it. And it's interesting that they put such an in-depth minigame into the game overall. But I'm not sure I'll ever go back to play much of it myself, because again, you really have to concentrate on it and buy a lot of different pieces and sort of really get to grips with this whole other game within a game. This trophy, this was for reaching level 20.
What did you want to discuss?
I think the biggest grind in the game was getting to level 50, because I'd finished most of the game at about level 45, and getting those last 5 levels up, it was a bit annoying. You had to go grind it out a bit. Everything else you sort of just got naturally from playing the game. First rebel camp completed. Quite enjoyed doing these rebel camps. Some people, they think this kind of side content's a bit too similar to Far Cry or something. You know, taking out rebel camps. Everybody knows that sort of mission from like Far Cry 3. And it's sort of just been in every open world game since then, where you're just going to have bandit camps that you have to clear out. But I always quite enjoy doing a few of those. I don't like doing too many of them. If you've got like 50 bandit camps on a map, my interest is gonna sort of start to fade away. But in this game, I think you have maybe 20 or 25 of them. Maybe a few other ones that weren't needed for the trophy, but yeah, there wasn't too many of them in this game, so I quite like that. This was a heavy weapon trophy. I think I just had to fire 5 heavy weapons. This was our main story trophy. Recovered the Demeter or whatever it was.
See you there.
I think this was a mission we did with Ava. Was her name Ava? She's a pretty fun side character. I think I enjoyed hanging out with her in missions the most. She was pretty funny, pretty endearing character. And it was nice to see Aloy hang out with another lady in the Forbidden West. Yeah, Alva, that was the name.
Okay. I'll see you there.
Probably would have been a good idea to have a few more quests with her in the game, because I think she was the most fun character to hang around with. Complete 4 rebel outposts. Yeah, it's not that surprising that I got this not that long after doing the first rebel camp trophy. I think I just was in a mood to go around and clear out a lot of those one day, so I got them pretty soon after, one after the other. Healed the land gods. Yeah, that was another main story, or maybe it was a side story. Maybe you didn't have to do that. And I also reached level 30 when I completed that mission, so I unlocked that trophy on the same bit of gameplay footage. So that's why that footage is repeating there. Recovered 5 different collectibles. Yeah, it was just, there were 5 different variety of collectibles that you got, and that was just for getting one of each. Again, a pretty lenient collectible trophy. Normally these games, a lot of them, they want you to collect 150 of this, 200 of that. But this game, it would just collect some of each and we'll give you a trophy for it, which I thought was pretty nice. Skill tree, this was for getting like a full skill tree maxed out. Again, getting a bit tired of skill trees in games. Just seems every big open world game seems to need a skill tree with so many skills that you probably will never use, and you just unlock them for the sake of unlocking them. But yeah, that wasn't too bad, that trophy. Enhanced a weapon with some coils. Yeah, this was another pretty simple trophy. Again, you get so many coils, like you don't know what to do with them really. The loot and the crafting and the skill tree and all that stuff, it's been done in so many games now that I don't really get that interested in any of that stuff. So I sort of just pick a weapon early on that I like and attach whatever coils I had at that time. And then I sort of stick to that weapon and upgrading that one weapon or series of weapons for the entire game. And I don't really go out of my way for any other weapons or loot or whatever. I just sort of get what works early on and sort of try to stick to that. First core overridden. Quite enjoyed the cores going into the cauldrons. They were always a nice challenge. There was only 5 or maybe 6 of those. But they were always pretty fun when you went into one of those. It always had some like unique challenges. Save the Daunt. Yeah, that was for doing all these sort of favors and side quests in that region. Pretty simple one. Aided. Yeah, this was for helping that guy. Doing all his side quests, his side story. There was quite a few trophies for that, for helping your friends. This was another one for defeating Sarah, or whatever her name was. That was another side quest. After you do all the rebel camps, you have a sort of a boss fight with her. Obtained all weapon classes. Yeah, this was for getting one weapon from each class. Pretty simple one. I mainly stuck to the throwing spear, the explosive throwing spear, and the bow and arrow, of course. So I didn't really experiment too much with the weapons. Used all elemental states. Yeah, this was one of the times I did experiment with the weapons actually, because you had to use all the elements on an enemy at least once. So that was when I was messing around with the other types of weapons and ammunition and stuff.
There we go.
That was a trophy for taking out all the acquisition robots, at least one of each.
Okay, got the
Complete 3 relic runes. Those were quite fun little sort of treasure hunt missions where you had to go into some old world ruins and find whatever bit of treasure was hanging about in there. Upgraded every pouch at least once. Kind of an annoying one, having to hunt down all these animals for their pelts or whatever. Very Far Cry, and it was kind of just annoying having to go around and find all those animals. But yeah, pretty simple trophy, just annoying. Perform 3 melee combos, pretty simple one. You had to unlock the combos from the skill tree and then just use 3 of them. Override every tall neck. Again, that was one of my more preferred trophies. The tall necks usually had some sort of unique puzzle to them. And they were always enjoyable to do, usually. This was for overriding 10 types of machine. This guy, he looks like a velociraptor dinosaur. I can't remember his proper name. And this was also, I got the trophy for ride all mounts when I overrid this guy. I think he was called a Shadow Claw or something like that. Somebody will probably correct me later. But they were a pretty cool robot. Completed the arena challenge set. Yeah, this was just going to the arena and just doing every set of challenges. The arena was pretty fun actually. Made me appreciate the combat a bit more. 1-2 gauntlet runs. That was another bit of side content where you had to do the racing on the back of some machines. I don't think the racing worked that well. It was a bit clunky. I don't think they thought it through very well. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. All cores overridden. Again, the cores and the cauldrons, that was another one of my favourite bits of side content. Completed a long glide. That was a really fun trophy. You just had to get to like the highest mountain you could find and then glide off the top and stay in the air for 60 seconds. That was a pretty fun one. Used dye flowers. This was for just recoloring some armor. So yeah, that was a pretty easy one. Complete 2 flying mount quests. Yeah, those were pretty fun quests once you unlocked the ability to override some of the flying machines. They became like the best way to get around. I don't think I used any other machines once I'd unlocked that ability. Just flying everywhere was pretty relaxing and saved a lot of time. Defeat the Enduring. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. They sort of built up the Enduring to be a really hard boss, but they weren't too bad. Some of the stuff you had to do to get to the Enduring was actually harder. Like some of the arena challenges you had to complete were the harder part of that trophy. Obtained 3 stripes at all hunting grounds. Yes, some of those were pretty tricky, but a lot of fun too, and they really do teach you the mechanics of the game and made me appreciate some of the stuff they put in there a lot more. Reaching level 50, basically had to grind out a lot of side missions and stuff to get up to that one, the last 5 levels. It was kind of annoying, but yeah, not too bad. All machine types scanned. Yeah, basically you just have to scan every machine just like it says. And the final one you needed was this final boss. You had to make sure to scan it, because if you beat the boss and didn't scan it, you've lost your chance to do that until like New Game Plus. So that would have been annoying to go through the entire game again just to get to the end so I could scan that final machine. So yeah, that was the final mission, and then I unlocked Platinum at the same time. So yeah, pretty decent game, pretty fun, and a decent Platinum. Nothing too bad about it really. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.